If you were my age, you probably remember the phenomenon that was Webkinz. For those unfamiliar, these were plush toys which exploded into the market in 2005. But they weren't just any plush toys, they would come with a 15-digit code that you could use to play with your pet online. In today's video, I'm going to take a look back at this game that played a crucial role in my childhood and see where it is now. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say, hey, if you haven't subscribed, do that. That would be really cool. Also, leave a like. Let's see if we can hit 50 likes. I feel like that's a pretty modest like goal. I also just wanted to thank you for sticking around. I understand that this content is different and I'm trying something new, but all I ask is that you just give it a chance. Watch the video all the way through, see if you like it, help my watch time, all that stuff. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye. Webkinz, which has been dubbed Beanie Babies on steroids, relied heavily on word-of-mouth marketing. I remember seeing everyone in my second grade class coming to school with their Webkinz and talking about how they could play with it online, which blew my 8-year-old mind. After feeling left out, I begged my mom to take me to the toy store and get me a black bear, which she helped me name Mr. Cuddles. I swear it was my mom who named it, not me. Every time you would get a Webkinz and a new code, you would get gifts. So naturally, because there was an incentive to get Webkinz, between my sister and I, we had 27. I wish I was joking. And as you can see from this master list, there were a lot of pets to choose from. I mean, at a certain point, they just started making up creatures. Like, what is a midnight monster? Eventually, Webkinz began releasing online-only pets, which gave them the creative freedom to create some of the most confusing and crazy designs I have ever seen. So I wanted to log into my childhood account, but couldn't because 1, I forgot my password, and 2, apparently they shut down all inactive accounts. So they pretty much killed my Webkinz that I bought using my parents' hard-earned money. But luckily, Webkinz has Webkinz Classic mode, which is literally the same exact game I remember from my childhood. They discontinued selling the plushes, but the game mode still exists and you can still buy virtual pets. They also have Webkinz Next, which we'll talk about later in the video, but spoiler alert, it's really bad. So after carefully reading the terms of service, it was time to play my favorite childhood game. They actually gave me the opportunity to pick a free pet that comes with a free 3-day deluxe membership. But why do they all look sad? It's funny, you can like trick them into thinking that you're gonna adopt them and then just not. I eventually settled on a floppy-eared bunny named Floppy. One of his adoption gifts was a carrot car, which obviously I had to test out. The first thing I had to do was go to the arcade. I spun the Wheel of WoW, which is like this wheel you spin once a day to like win stuff. And then I spun the Wheel of WoW Deluxe, which is the Wheel of WoW, but like actually gives you good prizes. I also learned that muscle memory doesn't exist because I used to be so good at this sledding game when I was a kid, and I was terrible at it. There was also Cash Cow, which I was definitely playing incorrectly because they kept deducting points from my score for some reason. Wacky Zingos is a game where you hit a yellow guy with a bat and see how far you can hit him. And then there's Wacky Zingos
Extreme, which is literally the same exact thing as, wait a minute, can we fix that? Why does my voice still sound like this?
Alright, sorry about that. So this is basically Wacky Zingos, but
Extreme.
Now this Brick Breaker knockoff infuriated me because I was doing really well, but then my character missed like the ball thingy, and I don't really understand how that happened. Funny story about this game called Hungry Hog. I thought you just had to eat food, but apparently I was losing points for eating healthy food and was gaining points for eating unhealthy food. So maybe that's why my nutrition is so messed up these days. I stopped playing arcade games, and here we have the newspaper, which is kind of lackluster. I mean, it's not like I'm expecting in-depth reporting, but it was just kind of meh. There's also a job board, which I remember frequenting a lot as a kid, so as you can see, hustle culture got me at a really young age. I got this job as like a newspaper delivery person and like failed instantly, and I'm still not really sure what I did wrong. I then absolutely owned this bozo in Checkers. They have what can only be described as the Webkinz MTV, which is just Webkinz music videos. I then went to the academy, and just like in real life, I struggled with weightlifting. However, I will say, to my credit, I was kind of a master at track and field, and look at that backflip. I remember doing these competitions as a kid, so I entered a cooking competition, but I'm confused by the purpose of this because I didn't even make anything. Like, I just paid an entry fee and my pet made something, and oh, come on, the hippo gave me an 8? I then visited the curio shop, which I have fond memories of as a child. Basically, the whole point is you try to get enough gems in order to save up for the legendary Crown of Wonder. And of course, I had no luck. Also, I just noticed this. Is this some kind of hidden message here? Why can't I tip Artie? What's going on here, Webkinz? I then did the quiz corner. I was cruising through the questions, but then they asked me what the GNP stood for, and apparently it wasn't Giant Night Pickles. I'm gonna be honest, there was a lot more content in this game than I remember, and I totally see why this game was so addicting as a kid. So many things you can only do once a day, like spin the wheel of WoW, or get a job, or mine for gems, and because of that, I kept wanting to come back as a kid. And if I'm being honest with you, this game holds up, and I'm not sure if this is my nostalgia talking, but I genuinely had a good time playing this game. I know I only scratched the surface with the content, and honestly, I'm considering, playing again. Now it's time for the disappointment that is Webkinz Next. Unlike Webkinz Classic, Webkinz Next only gives you 3 animals to choose from. I chose a dog who I named Dave. Okay, so on first glance, this is literally just Webkinz, but with different graphics, like these kind of 3D graphics. Am I the only one that hates these graphics? Maybe I just hate change, but I just don't understand the need for this. Also, this game runs a lot slower than Webkinz Classic. Maybe it's because I have a Mac, and Macs are kind of the worst when it comes to running video games, but this is just annoying. So a lot of the games in Webkinz Next are the same as Webkinz Classic, but the graphics are a little bit different. Some of the things are drastically different, like gem hunting is a lot more interactive, but I also still had no luck and gave up because I couldn't find anything. From an outsider's perspective, Webkinz Next just doesn't seem necessary. Maybe this is what today's kids prefer, but I feel like people like me who are drawn to nostalgia just want to play the original game. But maybe Webkinz thinks that they can't survive solely off nostalgia and they have to add new content to a new game. And again, I recognize I'm not Webkinz' target audience. I'm a 22-year-old man. Webkinz actively updates both games, and they have a podcast called Podkinz where employees go over Webkinz related news. I don't necessarily understand the need of Webkinz Next, but I think it makes a lot of sense to have both games running. My mind just goes to Club Penguin when Club Penguin shut down, and then they tried doing Club Penguin Island, which everyone hated. So I think Webkinz is smart in that regard and keeping Webkinz Classic so people like me who just want to relive the glory days of 2nd grade can go back and do so. Hi, this is my face. Overall, Webkinz had a really important impact on me, and I think it was really crucial in my development as an adult, for better or worse. But that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this and giving it a chance. It really means a lot. I really want to try new things with my content, and I really had a good time making this video. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, leave a like so we can hit the like goal of 50 likes, and also comment. Did you have Webkinz? Help with my engagement, please. Leave a comment. That would be really awesome. Special shout out to the members. If you want to become a member, there's a link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.